Good morning, girls. In the chapter Force and Laws of Motion, we have studied about what is force, what are the different effects of force. Then I also explained you that there are two types of forces, balanced forces and unbalanced forces. And I had given you the complete explanation of what type of forces are balanced and unbalanced, along with some examples. Right? Now today I am going to begin with the three laws of motion, and these three laws of motion were given by Sir Isaac Newton, a scientist. And these laws actually sets a relation between the force applied on the object and the motion gained in the object, right? So we can say that these three laws set the relation between the force and the type of motion. Okay, so there are three laws, and today I will teach you the first law of motion. Now if you have to pick up an object, suppose I say that a book is lying on the table. So if the book is lying on the table, till you move the book or till you lift up the book, it will not move on its own, right? Do you agree with this? I think yes. Now if you are driving on your two-wheeler or your car, and it will be in motion till you apply brakes and you stop it. So I hope you agree with this also. So in these two examples, it states that if an object is at rest, it will remain at rest, right, till you apply some force on it. And if an object is in motion, it will remain in motion till you again apply force on it. So what we did, a book is lying on the table and it is in the stationary position. Till you apply force on it or till you lift it up, it won't move on its own, right? And if you are in your car and the car is in motion, till you apply the brakes, it won't stop on its own. Okay, so the first law of motion says that if an object is in motion, it will continue to be in motion, and if an object is at rest, it will be at rest, it will continue to be in the state of rest till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. Okay, so I hope you've understood what I said. An object at rest will remain at rest, and the object in motion will continue to be in motion till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. Okay, so we can take up many examples like a table kept on the floor will not move on its own till we apply force on it, right? Then a man is running, he is in motion. Till he stops himself or till he applies force on himself, he doesn't stop on his own. Means he has to apply some force, then only he will stop. So the first law is given by Newton, and it states that an object at rest will remain at rest and the object in motion will continue to be in motion till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. So you will write the statement in your notebook and you will write 2-3 examples of each type. So let's begin that. The first law. So as I told you, the statement is an object in motion will remain in motion, okay, or at an object at rest will remain at rest till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. So this is the statement of the first law. Okay, an object at rest will remain at rest, an object in motion will remain in motion till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. So let us take some examples to understand this law clearly. As I told you, like, see, I just now picked up the duster. It was lying on this table. So a duster kept on the table is at rest, Okay, it will not move till some external force is applied on it. Okay, so you will write the whole complete statement to explain the example, that a duster kept on the table is at rest and it will not move till some external force is applied on it. Then you can take an example of um, a train in motion. A train in motion will remain in motion, okay, till some external force of brakes. You know there are brakes, brakes, till the force of brakes is applied on it. So these are some examples of the first law of motion. Now, the first law of motion is also called the law of inertia. Okay, what did I say? The first law of motion is also called the law of inertia. So let us understand the meaning of what is inertia and why is the first law also called the law of inertia, right? So as I told you that a book kept on the table will continue to be at the table till we apply some force on it, right? Every object, whichever object, either it is in motion or it is at rest, it has a tendency to remain at the state of rest, or it has a tendency to remain in the state of motion. Okay, and this tendency of the object is called inertia. So how can I explain it? As a pencil lying on the table, a pencil, it was lying on here on the table, so this has inertia of rest. Why? Because till I move this pencil, it won't move on its own. Okay, so any object which is in the state of rest has a tendency of not moving it because it will be in the state of rest. So such tendency is called inertia. Now that tendency can be either it is in motion or either it is in the state of rest. Okay, so we can say that inertia is of two types. Actually, inertia is of three types. One is inertia of rest, inertia of motion, and inertia of direction, which I will teach you in the end. So first let us understand actually what is inertia. A rock kept on the ground has inertia of rest. Okay, that means inertia is defined as the tendency of an object to remain in the state of rest or to remain in the state of motion. So if a train is running, it has tendency of motion. So that is called inertia of motion. If an object, or if we can say that a clock, a clock which is lying, which is hanging, which is on the wall, it is in the state of rest, so it has inertia of rest. Okay, so whichever object, if the object is in motion, it will have inertia of motion, and if the object is at rest, it will have the inertia of rest, or we can say it has a tendency to stay in that state. Okay, now inertia of an object depends on its mass. Okay, if an object is heavy, it will have more inertia. So if I take up two objects, suppose you take a small ball and a heavy cricket ball. Okay, one is a rubber ball and one is a heavy cricket ball. So where do you think you have to apply more force to move it? Obviously in the case of cricket ball, because it has more mass, and since it has more mass, it will have more inertia. It will have more tendency to be in the state of rest, but the tennis ball or the rubber ball or the other plastic ball, it will move comparatively easy. So inertia of an object depends on what? It depends on the mass. Okay, so how can we define inertia? Inertia is defined as the property of the object or the tendency of the object to remain in the state of rest, or to remain in the state of motion, or to remain in the state of the direction of motion, then that is called inertia. Okay, so if an object is at rest, it will have inertia of rest. If an object is in motion, it will have inertia of motion. And if an object is moving in some straight direction, it will have that inertia of direction. Okay, now you will understand inertia of rest, motion and direction very easily with the help of examples. Okay, so today what you will do, you listen to my explanation, write the statement of the first law, right? I'll give it to you in the WhatsApp group, and then you will write examples of the first law, and then you will write the first law of motion is also called the law of inertia, and what is inertia, and you will read this topic from your textbook. Is it clear to you? So let us revise quickly what is first law of motion. An object at rest will remain at rest. An object in motion will continue to be in motion till some external unbalanced force is applied on it. Okay, so you can take up any example which is in the state of rest, like a book, a chair, a ball, a piece of chalk, or any other object which is in the state of rest. Even you are sitting, when you are in the state of rest, you have the tendency to remain in that state. Okay, so that is called inertia. Then you can take up one example of an object which is in motion, that is inertia of motion, a train running, a bus moving. Okay, there are many examples. Then after writing these examples, you will write the definition of inertia and the types of inertia. Okay, so what you will do, you will read the chapter and I will give you the notes on this. You learn them. You try to understand them, what I have explained to you, and then I will give you examples on inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Okay, so read the chapter thoroughly and copy my notes from the page which I am going to send it to you. Okay, thank you.